So it's Wednesday, the 5th of January 2022. And yesterday I started in earnest my Peacock Porch project, all the peas. And what I've done is I've cut up some sort of peacock feather type shapes, you know, the end bit of a peacock's feather, with some metro tiles. I might show you how I do that, but certainly there are links. I'll send a link of how I did it on other projects. It's dead easy, and actually all you use is your score snapper, a pen of course first, and all the bits and bobs, and then trim it with the side biter. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But I just wanted to show you all the bits and pieces that I'm using so far. So it's all very peacock coloured shape. It's about 4 colours and some nice old crockery which came from the fence panel. So I'm repurposing all the bits and bobs from that, and going to spend some time next cutting some more of this very dark green. It's a lovely dark peacock green that would fit around these unctuous deliciousness that I've cut up. And they come from a plate like this, particularly when it's got these, you know, undulating gold bits, because then that is perfect to cut round there. Can you see? So that's what I'm planning to do next. And then I'm having a think about what to have around it. I might have some unctuousness around the edges here, but I've cut up a plate. And that's a peacock-esque colour as well. So I've cut that up using my trusty Montolit. Cut that up, and so that I will now shape these into circles. So I'm having to think whether I should put the circles on either side, so it's just at 3 points, and that would be enough to fill in, and then the grout, because it's a grout that could take up to 20 mils, I could just infill with that. But we'll see. I'll have a play. Because none of this is glued on, so I need to sort of rearrange stuff. So that's the plan for today. Okay, see you soon. I think I'll show you how I cut up a tile, actually. See you soon. So friends, I'm going to give you a little demonstration on how to cut a tile to make shapes. Now I'm using a metro tile because it has a nice little beveled edge there that gives it a little bit of texture when you're cutting tiles. So this works out really well for me because I'm creating a little pretend peacock feather edge to it. And you know, when the light catches it, it subtly catches it to make a nice textured look. So what I first do is put my gloves on so that I don't get cut. And then very carefully I will draw around it's best if you, when you have cut your template, make sure that you always use the same shape for your template, because you'll find that incrementally the next template might be bigger just by a millimetre, and then you'll find that nothing actually matches up properly because it's too big. So always use the same shape, the first shape that you've cut up, top tip. So what I use is my Toyo glass scorer, and I will score around, not necessarily score into the shape. And I'm using a heavy duty Vitrex score snapper, and I'm going away from the shape. I'm not going into it, because that way it's more likely to cut around and not into the shape that you want. And it's at this point I will just use my trusty side biter and cut it like so to start off with. Nice big shapes, because these could be used for another thing, repurpose the shape. And then we've got the rough shape now, and I'm just using the back of the tile nipper, the edge bit, and very carefully cutting around the drawing line. I'm trying to look through the camera at the same time. Not a good plan. Anyway, hope you can see this. Of course, wear your goggles as well, so that you don't get any bits of glazed, bits of glazed crockery flying all over the shop. Now what I'm doing is not cutting, I'm grazing the glaze now, so that you get a smooth edge. Okay, can you see? There you go. Lovely. So it'll look like the original mama. If it'll focus, it's very naughty not focusing. Okay, so that's how I cut a tile to make a shape. Thank you very much. You're a wonderful audience. See you soon. Bye. So it's Tuesday the 11th of January 2022, and I've just completed yesterday the Peacock Porch Mosaic, or a mandala for my porch, front porch, which is internal. So I'm going to install it today. I've added these kitchen and bathroom metro tiles to infill, and I've marked where west, north, east, etc., so that I've got a straight line. I am thinking of installing this as one whole piece, so that's going to be interesting. Let's see how that goes. I'm going to mix up a couple of batches of tile adhesive for the floor, for the wall, and pop it on. Let me show you where it's going to go. So here's the porch, and this is where it's going to go. So I have marked the vertical. I'm just going to mark the horizontal as well, although there's not much space for indicating. Perhaps it should be all right anyway. The brilliant thing about, as I've said before, about this tile adhesive is that it's got a 5-hour pot life. So I could peel it off and then apply it back on one time. So I could even take off the whole thing and then reapply some tile adhesive. So that's really good. This is where the peacock is going to go, on this part of the wall. And then once those two major elements are installed, I'll infill around both elements. Yeah, so this is so this week my friend Jo is going to come along and install my doors. This is the door to the gas fitting place, and it's a gorgeous, this Bancher green is gorgeous. It's a farrow and ball colour. Bancher it's called. It's beautiful and it really matches all the tiles that I've got. So yeah, so this is a plan for the next part. See you soon. Bye. Okay friends, I've applied two batches, 2 bowls of tile adhesive for the first half, and what I'm going to do now for you, really not for me, is card and spread the tile adhesive. So this is the next port of call. I'm going to use my notch trowel, which is a 6mm notch trowel, and spread this tile adhesive around so that it's almost over the line as well, just so it will then grab the mosaic. And I'm going to attempt it in one go, which is going to be hilarious, and I might even get to film that so you can see. Okay then, see you soon. Okay, this is going to be hilarious. I'm going to install this mosaic that's 88 centimetres in diameter in one piece. We'll see how it goes, and if it doesn't work, then you're not going to see this because I'm going to edit it and cut it up into sections. We'll see how it goes though. Okay, how's this for real time? Okay. Right, can you see it? I've just put it all in one go, but at the east point it's a bit wobbly bobbly, so at least I know that it can be applied in one go. Because there's a little bit of a lump there, what I'm going to do is peel this off and install it back on. But as you can see, that instant grab is grabbing. So I'm going to switch this off and get on with it on my own. Okay then, see you soon. I'm going to grab this later, probably tomorrow I think. Okay then, see you soon. Bye. So friends, I peeled it off and placed it back on so it's more central. And here's what I meant by wobbly bobbly, because there's this corner section here. It's a piece of quadrant in the corner, like a 3/4 inch quadrant. and I hadn't realised that when I was measuring up. So it was kind of wobbly bobbly on the edge here. So I've peeled it off and then popped it back on. Now, you know, there's some holes and lumps and bumps, but I can fill that in. In fact, I can fill it in with mosaic, so I don't need to worry about that. And there's a section there that I'm going to put a tile in the corner at the top there. But as you can see, it's looking great. Thank goodness! And it is even and straight and everything. So that's really pleasing to know that my personal best of installing a one large piece of mosaic is 88 centimetres in diameter. Although one little piece, there's a little purple piece there, did fall out. You probably noticed that when it kind of went a bit, but I wasn't going to let go of the whole in mosaic. I wasn't going to do that. So it was only one small tessera that fell off, which is actually, when you think about it, not bad in the grand scheme of things. So the next bit that I'm going to do now is the peacock, hence the peacock porch. I thankfully have made enough tile adhesive to install it. So this is my peacock here. So I'm going to install it now. So thankfully I had enough tile adhesive to put in the area where the peacock is going to go. So I'm going to put that in now. Okay. So I've just installed the peacock. And that was very easy because there was a thin piece of plywood behind the back of the peacock. As you can remember, it was on the Fence Panel Mosaic and it was on mesh. So there was a very thin layer of ply that was still attached. So that meant that all I needed to do was apply the tile adhesive onto this, and in 2 pieces it glued on. So woohoo! So that's good. And here's the mandala. So the next action plan is to infill these areas. And I have got some extra plates to make some extra shapes. I'm going to have a think about how I'm going to do that. I might do a little mini mandala. I might put little circular plates on it. Yeah, so I've got lots of ideas anyway. So see you soon. I think I'll grout it. Not yet. I'll grout it in one go. And in fact, this has got a black grout. So I might actually skim it with a little bit of brown, perhaps. We'll see how it goes, see what it looks like. Yeah, to give it a bit of a freshened up look and give it a warmer kind of colour combination, and it will match this one as well, of course. Okay then, see you soon.